The Inca Empire started in the city of Cuzco, in modern-day Peru, but eventually spread to cover parts of Ecuador, Bolivia, Chile and Argentina. They lived high up in the Andes mountain range before settling in the valley of Cuzco. The empire began in the 12th century CE, but was at its height in the 15th and early 16th centuries, until the arrival of the Spanish. It was under the leadership of the Emperor Pachacuti that the Incas started to conquer their neighbors. Most of this was done without violence. The Inca gave their enemies a choice: surrender and continue following your traditions, but be loyal to the Inca, or be destroyed. They eventually controlled a huge area, containing between 10–16 million people. Due to the fact that most Incan cities were in the mountains, they had to build a huge network of roads to connect them, stretching thousands of kilometers. The majority of the Inca were farmers. They had to develop terrace farming, carving huge steps into the mountains, to allow them enough space to grow food. Both men and women were expected to work the land, whilst children would look after herds of animals. People were expected to follow 3 main rules: don't lie, don't steal and don't be lazy. In return, if they were sick, or when they grew old, they would be looked after. No one went hungry or was homeless in the Inca Empire. The emperor was known as the Sapa Inca. It was believed that the emperor was descended from the Inca sun god, Inti. Inti is on the flags of Argentina and Uruguay. He supposedly wore a new set of clothes every day, with the old ones being burned. The emperor was in charge of making all the decisions in the empire, even after death. Emperors would be mummified and brought out to be asked when a new emperor needed advice. The Inca had less gods than the Maya and Aztecs, and much less is known about them. This is because the Inca had no writing system. They kept records by tying knots in ropes, called quipus. Their most important god was Viracocha, a creator god. Other important gods were Mamaquilla, the moon goddess, and Illapa, the thunder god. When the emperor died, or when a natural disaster happened, they would sacrifice captured enemy warriors or children to try to appease the gods. Children that were sacrificed were then worshipped like gods, and their families became known as descendants of Inti, so it was a big honor. Just like the Aztecs and the Maya, the downfall of the Inca was the Spanish. When the Sapa Inca, Huayna Capac, died, the empire was split unevenly between his 2 sons, Atahualpa and Huasca. This led to a civil war, as Atahualpa wanted the whole empire for himself. Atahualpa eventually won and became emperor. The Spanish arrived towards the end of the civil war and took advantage of the weakened empire. Francisco Pizarro, another Spanish conquistador, captured Atahualpa. Atahualpa offered Pizarro a room, filled to the top with gold, silver and other treasures, if he gave him his freedom. Instead, Pizarro took the treasure, and executed Atahualpa, supposedly for the crime of killing Huasca. Smallpox, spread by the Spanish, also helped to kill many of the Inca, and the Inca Empire eventually fell apart.